Welcome to Bindu Dadwal Chemistry Lessons. Our topic for today is extraction of iron. The various ores of iron are hematite ore Fe2O3, magnetite Fe3O4, limonite Fe2O3.3H2O, iron pyrite FeS2 and siderite FeCO3. The various steps for the metallurgy of iron are first step is concentration. Generally, hematite ore is used for metallurgy of iron. So, in concentration, the ore is first crushed in jaw crushers and concentrated by gravity separation process, in which it is washed with water to remove clay, sand, etc. The second step is calcination. The concentrated ore is calcined, that is heated strongly in presence of limited supply of air in a reverberatory furnace. Moisture is removed. Impurities such as sulfur, phosphorus, arsenic are converted to their gaseous oxides, which are volatile and escape. If ferrous oxide is present, it gets converted to ferric oxide. So this prevents the loss of iron due to formation of ferrosilicate, which would otherwise have formed if FeO was present. Then the entire mass becomes porous, which helps in the reduction process at a later stage. Melting. Here the calcined ore is heated with carbon, that is smelted in the blast furnace. It is a tall cylindrical furnace made up of steel lined with fire bricks. These are fire bricks. It is narrow at the top and has cup and cone arrangement for the introduction of charge, and there is the outlet for waste gases. Then there at the base of the blast furnace we have tires for introduction of hot air. Then we have a tapping hole for taking out molten iron, and we also have an outlet for taking out slag. The calcined ore along with limestone and coke is introduced from the top of the furnace through cup and cone arrangement. At the same time, a blast of air preheated to 1000 Kelvin is introduced from the bottom of the blast furnace. The added coke serves as a fuel as well as the reducing agent. Limestone which is added, it acts as a source of flux. It is heated, decomposed to calcium oxide, which can take up impurities and form slag, which is collected at the top of the molten iron. The burning of coke to carbon dioxide will supply almost whole of the heat required for the working temperatures of the furnace, and it gives a temperature of up to 2200 Kelvin at the bottom of furnace. As the gases move up, they meet the downcoming coke, charge of coke, and form carbon monoxide. This is an endothermic process, and the temperature starts dropping. So as we move up, the temperature goes down. It lowers gradually. At the bottom we have 2200 Kelvin, in the middle about 1300 Kelvin, and at the top 700 to 900 Kelvin is the temperature. At the bottom, coke acts as a reducing agent, whereas at the top the carbon monoxide will act as the reducing agent. Depending upon what kind of reaction is occurring in the blast furnace, this furnace can be divided into 4 zones. The lowermost portion is called combustion zone, because here the coke burns to form carbon dioxide and burning takes place. Reaction is exothermic. Lot of heat is produced, because of which temperature rises to about 2200 Kelvin. Carbon plus oxygen will form carbon dioxide. Second zone is called the fusion zone. As the carbon dioxide rises upwards, it meets the incoming coke and forms carbon monoxide. This reaction being endothermic absorbs heat. As a result, the temperature drops to about 1570 Kelvin. Because the iron which is produced up, it melts in this region, so this zone is called the fusion zone. Then higher up at a temperature of about 1270 Kelvin, this is the middle portion of the furnace. This slope part is called the slag formation zone. Here the calcium carbonate will decompose into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, and this calcium oxide will react with the impurities to form slag. Because slag is formed here, this portion is called slag formation zone. And the topmost portion is called the reduction zone. Here the temperature is between 500 to 875 Kelvin, and here carbon monoxide acts as the reducing agent and reduces iron oxides of all type, or carbon monoxide reduces all these oxides into iron, and carbon dioxide is formed as a result. So this zone is called the reduction zone. At the lower hotter parts, the main reaction is that iron oxide is reduced with carbon monoxide into iron. Now as this iron falls down, it dissolves some of the carbon, silicon, phosphorus and manganese, and forms the lowermost layer at the bottom of the furnace. It can be removed from this tapping hole, and as it contains some impurities, it is called pig iron. The iron that we have is of different types. There are 3 types of commercial varieties of iron. These are cast iron, pig iron, or then we have wrought iron and steel. The difference lies in the percentage of impurity present. For example, cast iron contains 2 to 4.5% of carbon along with impurities such as sulfur, silicon, phosphorus and manganese. It is the least pure form of carbon, and it is brittle and cannot be welded. The iron which is the purest form is called wrought iron. It contains carbon and other impurities but not more than 0.5%. It is malleable and can be easily welded. Third type of commercial variety is steel. It contains 0.5 to 1.5% carbon along with small amount of other elements such as manganese, chromium, nickel, etc. and some impurities. It has the intermediate properties between cast iron and wrought iron. The thermodynamic concepts of reduction of iron oxide in the metallurgy of iron. So you can see that this is the curve for formation of iron to iron oxide. Below 1073, this line of carbon monoxide lies below this metal oxide curve, metal oxide line. So here carbon monoxide, below this temperature carbon monoxide will act as the reducing agent, whereas above this temperature coke lies below this line, so coke will act as the reducing agent, convert iron oxide to iron, whereas itself it will get converted to carbon monoxide. Next is preparation of wrought iron. So wrought iron is the purest form of iron and contains less than 0.5% impurities. To convert cast iron into wrought iron, cast iron is heated on the hearth of a reverberatory furnace. It is also called puddling furnace with hematite. So hematite is reduced with coke into iron. Carbon monoxide is formed. During this time, the silicon which is present as impurity reacts with ferric oxide and forms silica and iron. And also sulfur is heated with ferric oxide. It gets converted to sulfur dioxide. Carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide will escape into the atmosphere because they are volatile. Where manganese oxide will react with silica to form manganese silicate. Similarly, phosphorus pentaoxide will react with iron oxide to form another form of slag, which is ferrous phosphate. The calcium carbonate, limestone, decomposes to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. This calcium oxide will absorb impurity silica to form slag. The metal is removed and freed from slag by passing through rollers the iron that is obtained is called wrought iron. Then when a piece of iron is dipped in concentrated nitric acid, a reaction takes place which makes the iron inactive. This iron will not displace copper from copper sulfate solution. It will not liberate hydrogen from dilute acids. It is passive in nature, so it's called passive iron. The process is called passivation, and this passivity of iron due to the formation of insoluble film of iron oxide Fe3O4 results in passivity, and it prevents the corrosion of iron. That's all in today's video. Thank you. Have a nice day.